The coronavirus. What was once just a small, unknown virus in the city of Wuhan has begun to spread to epic proportions. First, it spread to the entire province of Hubei, where Wuhan is located, but then it started to spread to other parts of mainland China. As cases racked up, horrifying videos spread across the world. But we didn't fret at that point. It was still isolated to China. But then, things got a lot worse. It spread to South Korea. It spread to Iran. And it spread to Italy. At that point, it was only a matter of time. The US was coming. The only question was, would we be ready? With the world's total number of cases solidly in 6 figures, and the US number of cases becoming thousands, how bad will this get? And did our leadership lead us astray? Tonight, we take a closer look.
Coronavirus. This is their new hoax.
This is yet another attempt to impeach the president.
We know there will be thousands more cases of coronavirus in this country.
Thousands or millions?
Let's kick this video off by talking about what has been easily the most annoying part of this entire conversation about the coronavirus. All of the people saying, actually, the flu is like way worse. It's like just a lot more deadly. That has repeatedly been proven false. The death rate for coronavirus is actually about 2%, which is very high for a virus. Now, the real death rate or the real mortality rate of this virus is tough to quantify because we can only base our data off of confirmed cases. The reality is that most, or at least a lot of cases, are going undiagnosed, particularly in countries like America where testing is not ramped up to meet the needs. Here are 2 charts. On the left, we can see the mortality rate of people who have the flu. On the right, we can see the death rate of people who have COVID-19. Do these look similar to you? Even for people that are in the younger demographics, you're very, very unlikely to die if you get coronavirus, but it's still almost 20 times or around 20 times more deadly than the flu is. So my question is, how can so many people have this terrible and obviously wrong viewpoint? There must be somewhere that they're getting this news from. It can't just be that everyone has gotten together and decided it for themselves. There must be some type of source that is incorrectly, almost fake news type of source that is telling people that this is the flu. Okay, it was just the president of the United States. That makes sense. Trump tweeted saying that last year 37,000 Americans died from the flu, and that at this moment there are 546 confirmed cases of coronavirus with 22 deaths. Think about that. And the man makes a point. And you also have to remember, this is a long time ago. This is March 9th. What kind of sucks about this issue is that when we talk about the president or how he handles something, it's going to instantly become political. There's going to be people on his side that say that he's perfect, and there's people against him that will hate him no matter what. So, you hope that the audience can find some nuance and we can have a little bit more in-depth of a look at the way he's handling this. I don't expect that to fully happen, but I hope we can do it. This tweet is very irresponsible because we know that this is not the same as the flu. Comparing the number of people that die from the flu every year and comparing how deadly the coronavirus is are not the same thing. Because if the coronavirus was spread at the rate the flu is spread at, millions of people would die. But that doesn't mean millions of people will die. Far from that. All the government has to do is step in, get adequate testing, prepare hospitals for a large influx of people with this virus, and also get the word out that you should be self-quarantining yourself and also limiting person-to-person contact and avoiding large groups, which, shouldn't be hard to do.
A lot of people think that goes away in April with the heat. People die from the flu. It's going to disappear. One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear. You take a solid flu vaccine, you don't think that would have an impact or much of an impact on corona?
We have thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that get better just by, sitting around and even going to work. Some of them go to work.
We have about 10-15 seconds for you to get your message to them, for people who aren't afraid of coronavirus and think it's just politics and hype.
Well, obviously, there's been some irresponsible rhetoric.
Politicizing the coronavirus. And this is their new hoax.
But But as funny as some of the stuff is, I want to really take a look at some of the statements that Trump made factually, like based off of the actual records of what he said, as well as clips with maybe a bit of context if possible, because I don't want this to turn into the kind of thing where everyone says, oh, that's just fake news, you're just like trying to make the guy look bad. These are real things that he said, and I think that a lot of them were very irresponsible. Here's one of his earlier tweets on the coronavirus where he says that it is very much under control in the US, which is simply not true. There hadn't even been much or almost any testing in the entire country. How can he know that? How can they know what the containment is at all if you're not testing the people? You know, one of the things that South Korea did that was really great, in fact, I think South Korea is someone we should look up to in trying to deal with this situation. They really effectively got testing implemented at large scale. In fact, you could even drive through to get your tests. Man, when you put it like that, it really starts to feel like it's hitting a little close to home. I mean, I know things have been bad lately, but I figured drive-thrus were something America would always be the best at. White House National Economic Council Director Larry Kudlow took these words to heart. In fact, he was doubling down on what the president had to say.
We have contained this. I won't say airtight, but pretty close to airtight.
That's right, February 25th. This shit is contained. Not going to say airtight, but, you know, you're already thinking it, so there you have it. This is a chart by day since the outbreak was contained in the US. My excitement isn't the only thing that's uncontained right now. On February 26th, Trump said, "This is a flu. This is like a flu," which is simply obviously not true. Also on February 26th, Trump said that the number of US cases is, quote, going very substantially down, and also, quote, close to zero. More specifically, he said, I think every aspect of our society should be prepared. I don't think it's going to come to that, especially with the fact we're going down, not up. And again, when you have 15 people and the 15 within a couple of days is going to be down close to zero, that's a pretty good job we've done. On February 27th, Trump said that it's going to disappear one day. It's like a miracle. It will disappear. Then he also went on to say, it will go away, just stay calm, it will go away. There are many other wrong or misleading comments, such as the vaccine being ready soon, even though most experts don't agree with that, or a comment on how Italy's cases are going to be going down right at basically the point they started to really ramp up. And there are a few other cases, so I don't think we need to go point by point through everything, but we can see the gist here. He's trying to make us feel safe or downplay it. And even if his intentions are good, and I'm sure people can debate that amongst themselves, the point is, this is not something where you should be trying to make everyone feel great about themselves. Go out there and hit that NBA game. What could happen that's bad? Nothing. It's basically just the flu. Through this stretch, Trump has also been making a bunch of provably false comments about Obama, and he can't really seem to let that one go. I'd say that was weird for him, but I would say it was par for the course. That was a golf joke, by the way. Back in 2014, Trump tweeted, Obama disappointed an Ebola czar with zero experience in the medical area and zero experience in infectious disease control. A total joke.
I'm going to be putting our Vice President Mike Pence in charge.
But last night, Donald Trump gave an address to the nation that really 180'd the tone of the conversation. He addressed the severity of it, and he said a lot of things that were true. Overall, it was definitely a step in the right direction. The problem was some of the things he said were murky at best. The main mistakes were on the specifics of the travel ban, whether cargo from Europe would be allowed or not, and it is. And then also if tests for the coronavirus would be covered by the government, which they're not. There was a few things that were certainly not right with what he said last night, but at the same time, I am happy to see that he is going in this direction. It also was a bit on the nose for Trump to be saying that, guys, this is not the time for partisanship. We need to rally together and buckle down. This is about America, not about politics. With tweets like this one from just a few days ago, where he says that the fake news media and their partner, the Democrat Party, is doing everything within its semi-considerable power, it used to be greater, to inflame the coronavirus situation, far beyond what the facts would warrant. Surgeon General says the risk is low to the average American. Statements like this are partisanship. He's not only saying it's the Democrats that are against you, he's even insulting them in the middle of it. But maybe that was before. Now things have changed. Now we have to turn over a new leaf, which is why he was tweeting out or retweeting attacks on Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer this morning. Look, at some point you gotta choose what you're gonna do. You either have to decide that we're coming together, everyone, to defeat this thing, or we're gonna stick with owning the libs. This is the one time I'll ever say this, but I don't think both options are good here. But let's stop talking about Trump and Pence. Let's talk about the other people in the media or politics. What's everyone else been doing? What's everyone else been up to? And oh boy, is there a lot to choose from. But this was one of my favorites.
Hate being leveled at the president is nearing a crescendo as Democrats blame him and only him for a virus that originated halfway around the world. This is yet another attempt to impeach the president. And sadly, it seems they care very little for any of the destruction they are leaving in their wake. Losses in the stock market. All this, unfortunately, just part of the political casualties for them.
You know, next time I'm debating a title for a video on YouTube and I'm thinking to myself, you know what, this might cross the line to clickbait, I'm going to look back and think, coronavirus impeachment scam left Stokes massive chaos. And I'm going to do what needs to be done.
This is impeachment all over again. And like with the Mueller investigation, like with Ukraine Gate, they don't care who they hurt. Whether it be their need to create mass hysteria to encourage a market sell-off, unlike anything we've seen recently, or whether it be to create mass hysteria in order to stop our economy dead in its tracks. Don't kid yourself.
Also, I'm not entirely sure what she's hinting at with the Democrats, I guess, are the ones causing the stock market to collapse. Yeah, I'm sure the Democrats are just hoping to lose a lot of money, you know, because that's what they want. Only the Republicans like money. What about the people? How have people been responding to what's been happening? And usually Google Trends will let you know things about the way people are thinking. And what I've learned is that people don't know what year it is. One of the top stories people are talking about lately is this Rudy Gobert clip, the center for the Utah Jazz, where as a joke, he touched everyone's mics, pretending like, oh, he's getting the sickness all over the place, and then tested positive for coronavirus. The question that I have to ask is, who thinks that jokes about the coronavirus are funny? My immune system works as hard as I do. Tulsi Gabbard, inspired, not expired. Hundreds are dead, and Ted Cruz has been walled off from society. At least there's a little bit of good news today. Ooh, those were different? But in response to the Rudy Gobert issue, as well as just general concerns, the NBA has suspended the season for the time being. That's right, the coronavirus just dunked on the NBA. What? That one was a layup. And finally today, it appears Tom Hanks has come down with a bad case of the corona, which leaves us only asking one question. If his efforts to quarantine failed, what chance do we have? I want to thank you guys for joining me, and remember to hit the subscribe button. I'm going all in on this channel. We're going to put out non-stop great content all the time. If you want to see that, you want to be a part of that, hit that subscribe button because we're going places, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow.